Hi guys, good evening and how you guys are doing and today's been a very happening day throughout, a lot of things happening. Let me just check whether the session has started or not. There is some kind of error message being displayed, right? So if you can probably, uh, mm, just tell me whether all is fine. Okay guys, can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you please comment about it because I can only read your comments right now. Not able to view it on the screen. So if you can somehow, hi, good evening, Kuldeep. Hello, Faizan. Hello, Rishabh, Somansh. If you can just tell me whether the video is visible or not. And just please tell me because all I'm saying is okay. You're good to go now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I am getting the responses. That's it. All well. So guys, chair has been shifted to the side, and I am over here. And let us talk about today. Today, I've been getting many phone calls. Some students are really ecstatic, they are very happy. Some of them are very sad. Some of them are very disappointed. Some of them are clueless. Some of them just want to cry, and some of them are puzzled as to what to do, right? That's the state of the students today because IBPS results have been announced today. IBPS wait lists have been cleared yesterday, and some of you are very hopeful that SBI clerical pre-results will also be announced in the coming week, in this coming week itself, right? That's the scenario. And first of all, many congratulations to all those who've made it through in IBPS reserve list and IBPS PO clerical and the SO examination. Since I happen to be a faculty for SO marketing officer as well, so almost 23, 24 selections so far in marketing SO itself. Of the 150, 151 jobs, 23 already being finally selected. That's a huge अचीवमेंट फॉर मी एंड काफ़ी बच्चों का हुआ आशीष आईबीपीएस एसओ में तो बहुत ही सारे बच्चों का हुआ अभी अगर मैं आपको दिखाऊं तो मेरा जो व्हाट्सएप है बस थैंक यू से भरा हुआ है आप देखोगे तो यू कैन ऑल सी थैंक यूज एंड कमिंग इन बट कई सारे बच्चों का देखो नहीं भी हुआ दैट्स ए हार्ड फैक्ट एंड जिनका नहीं हुआ और जिनका मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा आई वाज लाइक वेटिंग एंक्शियसली दैट दे शुड बी uh, they should be getting a selection done. So little bit of moderation is there. Even I am little depressed by not seeing them in the selected side of the students, right? So that's it. And but I should be telling you one thing. All those clerk में पीयूष का हो गया है आकांक्षा went through lot of previous batch students have gone through but the ones whom you know three students in your batch itself have cleared. In your batch your schedule have cleared. Majority of them are from the other batches, right? So Pooja says you missed it by 0.26% and fell in the reserve list. Okay. I would also appreciate if you can please tell me what was your experience, how many of you got selected, how many of you have are on the borderline, and how many of you couldn't make it, so we can have a small discussion of that and then we can move on to the today's session, right? I am a student from Adda 247. Today I am selected as IBPS marketing officer in Union Bank of India. Thank you, sir, for your guidance. Okay, Maniraga, congratulations, a lot of congratulations, and wish you all the good luck. And Union Bank of India will be your new uh, home most of the times, and you'll be in the office. Let's hope that your joining also comes in soon, right? That's the case. One small input from my side: majority of you who are facing challenges is to coping up with a negative result. Don't Don't get demotivated, guys. This happens. You make 10 attempts, sometimes you get through, sometimes you don't get through. Majority of students who got selection today have been repeaters, right? They have, this was their second attempt for IBPS clerical, IBPS PO, or maybe for IBPS SO. One of the students just called me by the name of Dhruv. He was a student of my batch in marketing officer batch last year. He couldn't make it. He was like barely a couple of numbers. He couldn't make it, but this time he was able to make it through, right? So patience is rewarding, persistence is rewarding, perseverance is rewarding. Only if you add these things along with the hard work. So only being persistent, only being patient won't be actually, being rewarding. If you want to move ahead, you have to add hard work with patience. You have to add hard work with persistent. Everything has to come along, right? This is the time for you to introspect. This is the time for you to think upon, to look upon the past and see what things you haven't done well. Where did you miss? I one of my favorite most students, he cleared all these sections except English with 0.25 marks. My heart goes out for him because I seriously thought that he should be able to make it. He scored almost double than the cutoff marks, but in English he just missed by 0.25 marks. So it is a learning for all of us that we need to always in retrospect, we need to always see in the hindsight where we missed, how we can improve. And for all those whom you've not been able to make it to this list, don't worry, things are not going to stop over here. Coronavirus is not going to eat up your jobs. But yes, opportunities will come, and be sure that many opportunities will come in different forms also. So one tip from my side for you guys, if you're preparing or planning for future, is that don't limit your vision, don't limit your thought process only for banking or insurance exam. If you're preparing well, prepare hard and prepare well, and make sure that, let me move the camera a little away so that yeah, make sure that you are well prepared for other jobs also. Why? Because as the government is saying, Atmanirbhar hona hai sarkar ko, so that means that you never know, in near future you might be getting various other opportunities in other ways also. That is also possible, so don't deny. So keep your eyes and ears open, keep yourselves well equipped and well prepared for the upcoming challenges. Yes, things are not going to be easy, times are going to be tough, but I see opportunities coming in not only in one or two forms, but I believe in the next 1 year time, you will be facing opportunities. You will be getting opportunities in many ways. All you have to be is to be well prepared so that when the opportunities come, you should be able to encash upon them, right? That's the thought, and we can discuss things further as and when we progress. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through this particular session on ratio and proportion. Last class, the class yesterday that we had was the first session, and in that session, what we did was we started with the basic concepts and the basic questions on ratio and proportion. I also explained you the basic difference between a ratio and a fraction. And I also told you that how we can see and utilize a ratio as a tool for comparison of values, right? This is what we discussed. You also talked about combining two or more ratios. We understood in which scenarios we can combine two ratios, in which scenarios we can combine more than two ratios. We did there also. Today we're going to talk about compounding of ratios, how we can compound two and more ratios. So that's the case. Let's now get started, right? So today we're going to talk about compounding ratios. We're also going to talk about duplicate and triplicate ratios and a lot of things, a lot of concepts associated with them we're going to talk about, right? So what is a compound ratio? What is a duplicate and a triplicate ratio? Let's have a look at this example, and then we can understand what a compound ratio is. Now, if I talk about a subduplicate ratio between x and y is 2:3, then the duplicate, triplicate, and subtriplicate ratios are what? Okay. Now, let there be a ratio R1, which says the ratio R1 is say A ratio B. So between two values, if the ratio R1 is A ratio B and the second ratio R2 is X ratio Y, right? That's it. So the compound ratio of these two ratios, what we'll be going to do is we're going to multiply the corresponding term. So we multiply AX and this BY. So the compound ratio of these two ratios becomes AX ratio BY. So this is the scenario, right? So what is happening over here is that we are basically using two ratios to find a compound ratio. This concept is very much used in all the questions on partnership and some more theoretical conceptual questions which I have. Now, if a ratio, let me just clear the screen, right? So if the ratio is A ratio B, if the ratio is A ratio B, its duplicate ratio, we'll call it a duplicate ratio. The duplicate ratio will be called A square ratio B square. So what we've done over here is we have compounded the ratio in itself. So we've done a compounding of the same ratio. So we multiplied A two times and we multiplied B, right? Similarly, the triplicate ratio, we'll be calling it a triplicate ratio, and that will be A cube ratio B cube. So duplicate ratio would be A ratio B, A square ratio B square, and a triplicate ratio would be A cube ratio B cube. Right? What would be a subduplicate ratio be? So if the ratio is A ratio B, a subduplicate ratio would be root A ratio root B, which means if we are making a duplicate ratio of the subduplicate, we should be getting the ratio originally, right? The third one is the last one is the subtriplicate ratio, right? Now, why am I telling you about subduplicate, duplicate, triplicate, and subtriplicate ratio? There's a reason behind that because a couple of times you can get a question just like what I have it on the screen as of right now. Many a times we'll be facing questions as it is that they'll be saying this is the ratio, what would be the duplicate ratio? Or this is the ratio, what would be the triplicate ratio, so on and so forth, right? So if this is the question, you can easily get on to the answer. Majority of times these questions are seen in SSC, railways, and clerical entrance examinations majorly. So the sub duplicate ratio is root x of between x and y is 2 ratio 3. So the sub duplicate ratio, if the sub duplicate ratio is what we're talking about, which means that root x to root y, this is given to us as 2 ratio 3. Now, if root x and root y are 2 ratio 3, which means that the proper ratio itself should be with x ratio y. So, if you have to convert to x ratio y, we'll have to square, right? And if you're doing a square of it, it will be becoming 4 ratio 9. So, this is the ratio. If the duplicate ratio, triplicate, and the subtriplicate ratios are, so the ratio is this, its duplicate ratio would be x square ratio y square, and that will be 16 ratio 81. And if you're talking about the triplicate ratio, the triplicate ratio would be x cube ratio y cube. So x ratio y of 4 is to 9 will give me 64 ratio 729. Right? And in the last, if I'm asking for subtriplicate ratio, the subtriplicate ratio would be cube root of these values. That will be cube root of 4 ratio cube root of 9. So this is how it is. This is what it is, and this is what you should be aware of when it comes to duplicate, triplicate, subtriplicate, and subduplicate ratios, right? That's all on this much. Let us now talk about compounding ratios and let us take some questions on partnership. Now, what a compounding ratio is, I've already told you that when we multiply the corresponding terms of two ratios, we get a compound ratio, right? So now let us try and have a look at this question and we should be solving this. So if you can start solving this question. A, B, and C jointly start a business. A puts in rupees 15,000 for 8 months. B puts in rupees 12,000 for 9 months. And C puts in rupees 8,000 for the whole year. In the end of the year, there is a profit of rupees 10,800. The difference between A's share and C's share in the profit will be how much? So, as you know, whenever we're talking about partnership, and you have to identify as to in what ratio would two or more partners be sharing their profits. So we have to say if we are having partners as A and B, and the capital invested by A and B are C1 and C2, and the time for which their capitals were invested were T1 and T2, and now you can see that the compound ratio would be C1 T1 ratio C2 T2 This will be called a compound ratio of capital and time, and also the ratio in which the profit will be shared. Okay, so this is how it is, and this has to be kept into mind whenever you're solving questions on partnership. Now let's have a look at this question. One more thing, guys. Today we're gonna have a slightly small session, so we're gonna do partnership and maybe a couple of more questions because I have got lot many phone calls coming in. I have to speak to lot many students. All of those who are not feeling good. I think I have my moral responsibility towards speaking to them, making them understand, counseling them. Maybe that's it, because I can be with you in your good times, but I am not a mentor good enough if I can't be in your bad times, right? So I am really happy in one thought, but I am little sad also for all those who not been able to make it. So I will, whomsoever is calling up right now, maybe sending me a text, I would be, getting back to them and speaking to them personally because that's what I think I should be doing once I'm through with the lesson, right? Okay, so A, B, and C started the business. So A puts in how much? A puts in 15,000 rupees. And B puts in, he puts in for 8 months. 8 months, rupees 15,000. B puts in how many? 12,000 rupees. And B puts in how much for 9 months? And C puts in 8,000 rupees. And for how many? For whole year, that is 12 months. Right? So the ratio between the capitals C1, the ratio between the capitals is what? 15, 12, and 8. So that is 15, ratio 12, ratio 8, and the ratios, ratio between the time for which they've invested their money. Let me erase this and write it properly. So capital and time. So time for which they've invested money is 8 ratio 9 ratio 12. So that's what you can do. You can find a compound ratio with the capital and time both, and then you can come on to the answer. This is the lengthier part of getting it done. But the easier way is you can solve it over here only. You can find a certain number which cancels across. So 4 can go 2 times over here, 3 times over here, and 2 times over here. And 3 can go 5 times over here, 1 time over here, and 4 times over here. So 5 twos are 10, 9 over here, and 8 over here. So 10 ratio 9 ratio 8 is the correct answer, right? And the profit being 10,800, the difference between A's share and C's share. So from between A and C, this is a two-part difference over how many total parts? 27 total parts, right? So the difference would be how much? That will be 10,800 into 2 upon 27. So 27 fours is this much. So, guys, your answer is absolutely correct. 800. Kuldeep, Soumya, Rajnikant, Shashank, almost everybody's got the correct answer over here, right? Let's move on to the next question. That's the next question over here. Actually, you're saying my pic is zoomed in, and then the question छिप रहा है. Okay, तो इसको थोड़ा सा we can do it right. Is it okay now, Shashank? Will that help you? You can customize things as per your needs. Okay. The second question says, yes, Prince, your answer is also correct. Now, A started a business by investing 27. After some time, B joined him by investing this much. At the end of 1 year, the profit was divided in the ratio this much. How much many months did B join? After how many months did B join the business? That's an easy one. So A started with the 2700, and his money was there in the business for the entire year long. B joined the business after some time, and let us say 2025 was his contribution, and let his contribution be there for X months only. So we don't know what is X months, how much is X months, right? But we know that the profit in which this money was shared was 2 ratio 1. So the compound ratio of the first and the second terms should be equal to this. So it's as simple as that. So 2700 upon into 12 upon 2025x should be equal to 2:1, and you should be able to solve this for x. But x is not the answer because the question is saying after how many months did B join the business. So say if x comes out to be 5 months, which means that x money was invested only for 5 months, right? So x's money or x came 7 months later. So if you solve it for x, what do we get? Let us see. So we can divide this by, say, 3, 3 fours are over here, 3 6 are 675 over here. This goes over here 2 times, and x is equal to 2700 upon 675 into 2. So 24 we divided by 25 above and below, right? So how much after no, how much is x? X is 8 or x is 4? Yes, x is 8. Yes, x is equal to 8. You're right. So if x is 8, which means that B joined how many? 4 months later, and the correct answer would be option number 1. Absolutely right. Yes, Ayush, you're absolutely right. Mohit, your answer is very, very correct. And let's have a look. The next one. Now, A, B, and C invest their capitals in a business if the ratio of the periods of investment are 2:3:6, and their profits are in. Now, what we are given the ratio of the capital and we are given the ratio of the profits. We are not given the ratio of the time. I'm going to give you a small and a very effective trick over here. Please pay attention. So, for A, B, and C, let the ratio of the capitals be given to us is over here. 2:3:6. As far as times are concerned, we are not aware and we take the ratio as T1, ratio T2, ratio T3, and the combined ratio comes out to be 4:5:6. Got it, guys? Now, what is going to happen is now either you can solve it in detail and you can say, okay, find 2T1 upon 3T2 should be equal to 4 upon 5. This is one thought process you can apply, right? By solving the entire thing. So this goes away 2 times and you say that, okay, fine, T1 ratio T2 is going to be 6:5. It says T1 ratio T2 is going to be 6:5. So this is not 6:5, this is not 6:5, this is not 6:5. We left with only one option available. To be double sure, we can have a T2 over T3 also. So 3T2 upon 6T3 should be equal to 5:6. So this 6 goes away. So T2 upon T3 should be equal to 5:3, which is over here. So you can just go by solving it, you can always do that. The other way around is you can try and match it with the values. So you quickly substitute the options over here and start working out your math. So if your substitution comes out to right, you can do the same thing in a fraction of a minute and you can easily crack this and with a lot of ease, right? So that's how it is to be done. So if you try and apply some logic with the help of the options available at hand, you can still do it with a lot of ease. Let me show it to you, right? So we had A, B, C. The ratio was 2, 3, and 6. And the final ratio was 4, 5, and 6, right? So what we can pick anything. So if like picking the first option, right? So 9 and 10. So 9 twos are 18, 10 threes are 30. Is it 4:5? No. 4, 5, 6. So 4 twos are 8, 5 threes are 15. So 8:15. So is it 4:5? No. Similarly, you work for the last one and this one. So if you work it with this one, 6 twos are 12, 5 threes are 15, and 3 6 are 18. So this is coming 4:5:6. So you can validate with the help of options also. This can also be done. Right. So that's the idea. Let's move on to the next question, next set of questions. The second set of questions I'm going to take is the questions based on coins. A lot of questions. One question certainly in SSC examinations, pre or mains, majority of the banking examinations also favorite ones are coins. So and now before we do the questions on coins, I'm going to tell you two basic varieties of questions on coins, so you will be getting a good idea about how to go about it, right? So whenever you have questions on coins, how do you go about it? You would either be given the number of coins. So you'll be given the ratio of number of coins. Along with it, you would be given the total value of the coins. Or, or the second scenario would be that you might be given the ratio of the value of the coin plus the number of coins in total. So any question on coins, any ratio proportion question on coin will basically come in either of the two ways. You are given that you will be saying that okay, fine, in a bag there are so many coins, number of coins will be given, and the value of the coins of 1 rupee, 50 paisa, 5 rupees, this. Or a bag contains coins worth rupees 300 and the ratio between the coins is this is in this. Right? Somebody texting me, so I'll say I'll call you back later. Okay. I'm getting constant phone calls since 11 a.m. morning. The best thing I feel and realize being a faculty is that in the good times students remember me. In their bad times also they remember me. So which means that they trust me, they look upon me, and this is what makes my job more my job. It's like a walking on a blade as of today because I have to be happy and sad at the same time. It's a mixed bag of feeling, guys. I mean, you'll only understand when you'll become a mentor or a faculty or a teacher because you see everything happening, right? It's like being in a hospital, people getting cured and going out, people not being able to get cured and then not being able to go out. So it's kind of the same feeling. Okay, okay. So let's take this session further. So our box is how many coins? 210 coins. So this is this type. We are with the second type. You're given the number of coins, right? So a box says 210 coins of denominations 1 rupee, 50 paisa only. So we have a 1 rupee coin and we have a 50 paisa coin. And the total number is 210 coins. The ratio of the respective values is 13 ratio 11. So the ratio of the values is 13 ratio 11. Now this is the ratio of their values. The number of 1 rupee coins is how much? Now, if you are given only two types of coins, 1 rupee, 50 paisa, 5 rupee, 2 rupee, 10 rupee, only two types of coins, right? You can answer this question in many ways. One is that you can make an equation and solve it. Second is you can use allegation also and solve it. The third one is what I'm going to show you right away, right? So majority of you would be using allegation, some of you would be using an equation. Since the values are 13, the this is x, so the ratio between the number of coins would be 13 ratio 22. So 13x over here, 22x over here makes it how much? 35x should be equal to 210, x should be equal to 6, and you can easily then now solve it, right? So the number of coins of 1 rupee would be 13 into 6. So 13 6 is 78. You can mark the answer 78. This is first type. Now you must be wondering as to how did I get 22x over here. See, this is the value of the coins, which means that for every 13 rupees there are 11 rupees made by 50 paisa coins, right? Not the number but the value. So if I count the number of 50 paisa coins and if I add their value and see how many rupees are they making, so the amount of rupees made by 50 paisa coins and the amount of rupees contributed by 1 rupee coins, this is the ratio. But if I want to find the number of coins, please try and understand number of coins. 1 coin would give me 1 rupee, and 50 paisa, 2 coins will give me 1 rupee. So to make 11 rupees, I need to have 22 coins, because for 1 rupee, I'll be needing 2 coins. Had this been a 25 paisa coin also somewhere and the ratio should have been 8, I would have been doing 32x over here. Why? Because 4 25 paisa coins will make me 1 rupee. Now, had there been a 5 rupee coin also, and if the value is say 30, I would be having number of coins as 6. I will not be multiplying 30 by 5. Why? Because each 5 rupee coin will be needing only 1 rupee, 1 coin. So for 5 rupees, I need only 1 coin. So for 30 rupees, I'll be needing only 6 coins, right? So this is one way of getting it done. The second thought process could be by using allegation, right? So if all the coins, now the box is how many? 210 coins. Denominations rupee and 50 paise. The ratio of the respective value is how much? 11 is to 13. So the ratio between the value is 11 ratio 13. So that is the case. And if you're supposed to find the ratio, so you can use allegation also. You say, okay, fine, if this is it, so I can use allegation also. But then the best way of doing it is my way. I'm going to tell you. The very first thought it says the number of 1 rupee coins, right? The total coins has to be how much? 210. And the value is given to us as 13 ratio 11. Now tell me one thing, if I am going to make a 13x amount with only 1 rupee coins, it means that the number of coins has to be a multiple of 13. So this and this can be the options, this cannot be the option, right? So for 13 ratio 11, if 78 is 13 into 6, I will be having 11 into 6 over here, which will give me how many? 66 coins, right? 66 rupees, 66 rupees, and 66 rupees will be 132 coins. So if I add 132 and 78, am I getting 210? Yes. This is another thought process of doing the same question, right? Let's move on to the next question. Now we have a box having 90 coins of denominations 1 rupee, 2 rupee, and 5 rupees. So now we are having a 1 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin, and a 5 rupee coin. And we've got how many coins? 90 coins. The ratio of the respective values. Now again we have the ratio of the values, which is 3 ratio 4 ratio 5. The number of 2 rupee coins is how much? A number of 2 rupee coins. Now if the value is, so for every 3 rupees made by 1 rupee coins, there have to be 4 rupees made by 2 rupee coins, and have to be 5 rupees made by 5 rupee coins. So the values will be 3x, 4x, and 5x. Now this is the value, but if I want to talk about the number of coins, so I'll be needing 3x coins over here exactly. Why? Because 1 rupee will give me one value, 1 rupee value. For me to have 4x rupees and every coin is how much? 2 rupees, so I'll be needing only 2x coins. And for me to have 5x value for every 5 rupee coin, I'll be needing only x. Right, so the ratio becomes 3 ratio 2 ratio 1. Got it? So the ratio between the number of points will be 3 ratio 2 ratio 1, and if I add them up, so 6 parts will now be equal to 90. Let's not write x over here, you get confused. 1, so 6 parts is 90, so one part is how much? 15. So if one part is 15, the number of coins I'm supposed to have is, so number of 2 rupee coins will be 2 times 15, that will be 30. Right? That's how you can do it. You can also do it with options, not an option, not a problem altogether. Now I have changed the type of question over here. Now in this question, you've been not given the total number of coins, you've been given the total value of the coins. Apart from this, you are also given the ratio between the number of coins. So we have a 50 paisa coin, we have a 25 paisa coin, and we have a 10 paisa coin in the ratio 1, ratio 2, ratio 3. And the total amount is rupees 19.5. So Faizan is saying 30, Anuj is saying 30, Soumya is saying 30, Kuldeep is saying 78. Where are others? Prince, your answer, I'm waiting for it. Anyways, let's have a look. Okay, so let's see how it is going, right? So we're supposed to find the number of 10 paisa coins. Now we can do it with a lot of ease. Whatever is the number, now this is the ratio of the number of coins, right? So this will be, say the number of coins will be x over here, 2x over here, and 3x over here, right? So 50 paisa coins, 25 paisa coins, and 10 paisa coin. What you can do is you can find the value of one set, because the total number of coins will be this plus this plus this, x plus 2x plus 6x. So 6 multiplied by a multiplier x, right? But for that particular number, we need to have one 50 paisa coin. So the value that we get from one single 50 paisa coin is 50 paisa. Two 25 paisa coin, I'll be getting another 50 paisa. And three 10 paisa coins, I'll be getting 30 paisa. So these set of six coins will get me how many? 1.3 rupees, right? And 6 multiplied by the x number of times should be getting me this. So this value of one set of coins is 1.3. 1.3 multiplied by x should be giving me 19.5. That's it, right? So how much that x becomes? So you should divide 19.5 by 1 by 3. It should be 1 and 6 15, so that will be 15, right? So x becomes 15, so the number of 10 paisa coins is 3x, that will be 45. So 45 is the correct answer here. Yes, Anuj, your answer is absolutely correct. Soumya, Rajnikant, everybody's answer is very, very correct. Faizan, your answer is also correct, and congratulations, Faizan, for being consistent throughout the session. Today you get a free you get a free test pass, 6 months test pass from JC Academy, absolutely for free. So Manch, I have just been able to check. Anuj, your test series has been activated. So Manch, your test series will be activated along with Faizan. So congratulations, Faizan, and you win a free test pass from JC Academy. And you can give all the upcoming major examination mock tests absolutely for free for the next 6 months. So please text your email and the registered phone number, right? We'll get it activated, right? So that's it from my side, and Suman Shah also will be getting it activated today, because I believe these test series will be of good use because the examinations are now expected to be held soon. And what my best guess is that by middle of June, you'll be getting a lot of clarity on which examinations will happen when. So, so that is the case. सर आपने आईबीपीएस एसओ के लिए टेलीग्राम ग्रुप में कुछ बताया नहीं है. Sarita, I'm not able to understand what your query is. You can ping me on this number and we can chat. You can also call me after the session is over. I'll be glad to address your queries, right? And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and tell me what your views about what other kind of sessions we can come along with. The idea is to come every day and solve a set of 8, 10 questions that makes you adapt at a specific topic that helps you, get going along, that helps you to go along with the preparations well. Be prepared for things getting back on track, right? इस रिजल्ट आ गया सरिता जी, आई नो रिजल्ट आ गया, हमने सेशन की शुरुआत में वही बात किया था. सो दैट्स इट. एंड रिजल्ट आ गया. रिलेटेड टू रिजल्ट कट ऑफ के बारे में, ठीक है. आईबीपीएस एसओ मार्केटिंग ऑफिसर का जनरल कैटेगरी अनरिजर्व्ड का जो कट ऑफ है वो गया है 51.93. दिस इज टू द बेस्ट ऑफ माई नॉलेज, राइट? Because one of the students called me, उसका 51.93 ही था, and he said that sir, I am just on the brink. The other candidate with the same score got through. I couldn't because the date of birth. So that's how I know it, right? So we can discuss it after the session is over. And guys, thank you so very much for the love and affection you guys are showing by participating and joining in the session every day. Please tell it to your friends. We will be glad to be adding up more sessions, and very soon we'll be having more sessions on other subjects also. We are working on it, so very soon we'll be having that as well, right? So thank you so much. Bye bye, and congratulations to all those who finally got selected, and to all those who have not been selected and missed it with a small margin. Don't get disheartened. Things will fall in place. Life is a circle, you know. You miss something, you get something. I know it's difficult to cope up with the situation right now, but yes, don't worry. Things will fall in line. You will succeed. That is my faith on you guys, right? So I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Till then, bye bye. God bless you.